180!
Jackpot versus the Hammer. Is Jackpot going to treat us to something special? He was brilliant in his opening round winner. 6-1 victory over Michael Hertz. 101 average.
I ref that game. It's a joy if Adrian is playing like he did in that match. It's lovely to ref. So easy.
It's, well, often you're only calling out two scores, 180 or 140. When he's flowing, he is an absolute marvel
100.
to behold. You might notice Hammer got a bit of a swelling round his eye. He's actually been bitten by a mosquito in his room. But so has Adrian. He's got a bite on his hand. Now, it has been suggested
96.
by Hammer that Adrian might have got bitten, shoveling a load of mosquitoes into his room ahead of their match. It's completely unsubstantiated, of course.
41.
But Adrian Lewis, when he starts getting eaten by animals, it's usually quite a good omen for him. It happened at Alexandra Palace at the World Championships when he was getting beaten in one of the early rounds. A wasp stung him in the hand and then suddenly bucked his ideas up and came back to win.
93.
That was on one of his runs to one of his 2 World Championship titles.
Oh, what a joy it's been to
93.
see Adrian Lewis play this year. He's really back on form. This year, all the major tournaments, I think the finals have always been, or the winners at least, have always been either Phil, Adrian or Michael. Hamilton, he's always there or thereabouts. I think the last time on a television tournament he didn't make the quarterfinals was the UK Open last year. I mean, that's tremendous.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, it's
98.
just regular from Andy Hamilton. He's such a competitor. It's not been an explosive start to this one with these two. You were saying about Adrian's form. There were times in the Premier League he wasn't really his old self. People were saying, well, maybe he's just... double 12 he's taken out. Bit quick for the cameras there, but Adrian Lewis holds his throw with a 72 checkout. But people are saying, oh, well, he only turns up at the World Championships, Adrian Lewis. If you're going to turn up for one tournament, I suggest that's the best one for him.
Oh, yeah.
But he's really found his form later this year. The European Championships, he was superb. He was incredible at the match play, and only Phil Taylor, a vintage Phil Taylor performance, could have stopped him as Adrian Lewis
140.
looks to fill up the treble bed. Has to settle for a 140. But yeah, he is back and firing again, Adrian Lewis.
I think he's changed a couple of things. Maybe playing a little less exhibition work. It's fun to do. Of course, it pays the bills as well. But you need a little bit of rest. You can't do this 12 months a year. You need for yourself to plan a bit of rest and relaxation. Otherwise, you're going to wear yourself out. It's tempting as it is. You need to do it. And ask the master himself, Phil. He's better than anyone at doing it.
Yeah, well, you only have to look the way that Adrian's darts have improved. He can write off a load of exhibitions. If you're going to make the final of the World Match Play and win the European Championships, that's going to be more money that you're dragging from exhibitions, even if you're doing 5 a week.
58.
Without all your sponsorships and everything else that goes with it.
It's not only about money. You want to show yourself to the fans, and the exhibition circuit is the best way to do it, obviously, because you get close up with the fans. But nowadays, it's a professional sport. You need to make choices. There's no other way to do it, especially if you're in the top 8. It's such a grueling season with the Premier League and all.
19.
Yeah, and you saw the likes of Whitlock and Nicholson, all their media requirements as well, having to go out promoting the Sydney Darts Masters, those two guys, loads of time travelling around. And look at this from Adrian Lewis. Oh,
129.
Well, a 147 would have been special, but he's coming back for double 9, and Andy is nowhere near.
Can't find the treble with his first dart at all at the moment.
59.
All falling below.
Bit lacklustre from Andy Hamilton. It's the similar sort of performance as we saw in his opening round match. He needs to G himself up and get into this one.
10.
It doesn't really matter for Jackpot that he's missed another couple of darts at a double because he is so far ahead. Can the hammer put a bit of pressure on this?
134.
Great effort to move across,
Adrian
leave
requires
himself
8.
in a two-darter. But Adrian Lewis wants double four, and
Game's
double
on the
four he
second
gets.
leg. Adrian Lewis.
2-0, break a throw.
Third leg is Adrian to throw first. Game on.
Oh, and Lewis got the darts in the third leg. So you know that Hamilton's in a bit of problems now.
60.
On the other end, if anyone can fight back from being behind, it's this man.
Yeah, he won't give up, that's for certain. But we haven't seen the quality from Andy Hamilton this weekend to suggest he can live with Adrian Lewis.
140.
But it can all turn. We've seen games turn completely around this weekend.
96.
More than one occasion. Jarkko Kamula looked like he was going out to Justin Pipe. Suddenly found something in a final leg. Mark Cox, 5-0 up. Looked like he was going out in a final leg. But managed to hold on and book his place in the third round.
139.
So
Good
this is a
start.
little bit better from Hamilton.
Yeah.
Picked up.
82.
He's gained the advantage in the leg that Lewis started. And finds the trouble again. This is what he wants. Then he can build on it and build on it.
123.
Agonising for the hammer. But he'll take that down to 99.
57. Andy required 99.
And he's got 6 darts from here, minimum. And Andy Hamilton, 99 left after 9 darts. We said, where was the Andy Hamilton we know and love? We haven't seen him this weekend. He has just turned up.
He's on the third leg. Andy
99
Hamilton.
checkout, back in the game, a breaker throw,
Fourth
and the
leg is
hammer has
Andy to throw
arrived.
first. Game on.
You can almost see it in Lewis's eyes as well. Where did he come from?
'97.
Yeah, it's very, very rare that Andy Hamilton will give anybody an easy ride. He'll make you go and beat him.
100.
Adrian Lewis has had the better of him in their recent meetings. Most obvious one was at the match play in the quarter-final. Adrian was just playing scintillating darts all the way through that tournament. It looked like nobody was going to stop him, but the hammer did force him. 19-17 that one finished.
100.
Then, of course, he went on and played Michael van Gerwen in the semi-final. That was just mind-boggling
58.
darts.
If they keep on throwing for 4 hours, I don't care.
Oh,
It's
I would have watched that.
fantastic.
I'd still be watching that now. If somebody had just brought me some food and drink, I'd quite happily watch them go at it for months. And then that final of finals right up there with some of the best games
58.
ever played. Adrian Lewis, well, he'll play worse than that for entire tournaments and he'll win them.
Oh, yeah. I always say the world's a better place when Lewis is on fire.
180.
And he pulls out a 180. It's his first maximum of the match. In fact, it's the first one of the match. He's left himself a bogey, so he won't finish 164.
98.
And the hammer, 148. It's not too bad to finish that.
He can stay on the 20s. If he hits that
65.
first treble, we know what he can do. He can follow through quite easily. So it's all about this first dart. High in the treble 20, that's where he wants it. About there.
Exactly there. Can he follow it? Yes, he can. And double 14 for a 148. Andy Hamilton just inside.
Adrian, you required.
Well, this is
98.
not a gimme. 98 is not an easy outshot. 78.
He's going for double 19 and tops for Lewis.
Game shot. On the
Oh,
fourth leg.
that is
Adrian Lewis.
typical Adrian Lewis.
Fifth leg is Adrian to throw
What
first.
a way
Game
to
on.
finish. Some dart players would only ever do that in an exhibition, but Adrian Lewis, he loves a double-double finish, and that is why 2 big targets
58.
on you that good, why not?
Well, it seems to be something that's happening more and more over the last couple of years. Players going for 2 doubles instead of a treble and a double. Well, it's simple math.
50.
The double is bigger than the treble, so it should be easier to hit.
Well, what a moment that match. In the space of just 4 darts, Andy Hamilton misses the double 14 for a 148. And then Adrian Lewis, double finish, takes out 98 to break back immediately and establish a 2-leg cushion. And at the end of this match, we may look back on that as being
27.
the key point when the match turned.
It's quite
60.
a late bloomer, Andy Hamilton. Was already 34 when he got to his first, 37 even, when he got to his first World Championship. If you compare that to Adrian Lewis, he was like a kid when he played in his first World Championship. But he's going, Hamilton,
58.
for his 10th visit this year consecutively on the World Championships. He's a figure you can't do without
26.
anymore at these moments.
Yeah, the rise of Andy Hamilton's been great to watch. He's got such a brilliant attitude to the game. He's just loves playing darts. He loves the fact that he's travelling around the world, earning great money, playing the game he loves. And he just loves every second of it.
60.
I'm a firm believer that the one match that changed his career over the last few years was that match against Simon Whitlock. Everyone who's seen it must remember it, that quarter-final of the World
65.
Match Play. I think if he would have lost that one, he might have slipped down the rankings even more, but he got that win and he was 8 legs behind and won 10 on the trot. And since then, 6 months later, he was in the World Championship final. He got into the Premier League and that just seemed to kickstart his career.
Yeah, and that belief, that
140.
fighting spirit. I mean, he is absolutely indomitable when he's on form, when he's on stage roaring at you and trying to bully you and intimidate you.
95.
You say it's the best place to
Andy
be on
requires
stage.
158.
Jacques. I'm not so sure when Andy's in full flow. Oh, 158 would have been a big ask. Been a bit of a scrappy leg here. After the
58.
brilliance at the end of the last leg.
Adrian requires 112.
But Adrian Lewis only needs 1 treble to buy himself a shot at a double. And there it is. It's a double 16 for AD Lewis and a 4-1 lead, and he
Andy requires 100.
can't take advantage. Can Andy Hamilton take out this 100?
This is where he does his most damage. These finishes, if he's on form, he'll take them. Treble 19 to leave double 19. 1 dart at a double. This is what he does.
Oh,
Here's
and that is
Hamilton
exactly
playing.
what he's
Andy
done.
Hamilton.
Snuck it in the corner of the bed.
6 leg is Andy to throw first.
No one will tell you to go
Come on.
5 treble 19, double 19 to take out 100, but it's just as good as doing it in 2 darts on double top. Oh, 4 breaks of throw we've had in the last 4 legs.
28.
Now, and Hamilton starts his own leg with a 28. So Lewis must feel that he's got an opportunity in this one as well.
100.
It's strange how it goes sometimes, isn't it? Sometimes you get matches, you can't break each other, and then the next match.
They just have no idea how to hold their own throw. It is a strange old game. And where's Newton?
134.
You know, he's put in 2 performances there where he's averaging around about 100. Really laid down a marker as Adrian Lewis looks to find another maximum, and it's his second of the match. Laying down a marker. Adrian Lewis, so great in the first round, looking to come and emulate that kind of performance against Andy Hamilton. Not really happening for him. 3-2 up, yes, but not the kind of display that
100.
would send a message to his rival Wes Newton and say, look, don't worry about, I'm here as well. I've come to play darts this weekend.
You're exactly right. Lewis, I think,
57.
especially this year, hasn't had the best run in these European events. He's managed to win one last year in Sindelfinger. If he gets going, if he gets to that Sunday, he's always dangerous on one-day events. And that's basically what it gets to be tomorrow.
58.
Yeah, he was looking good in Gibraltar as well before he fell to young Jamie Lewis when he had that dream run to the final before losing to Phil Taylor. Look at that.
139.
2 treble 19s left him a shot at the ball. But he will be back. Didn't need to go for the bullseye there, Adrian Lewis. But he is a showman.
You want to please the crowd. You want to get them on your side.
Adrian requires 25.
So, 2 darts at a double. Double 8 he wants. Double 8 he gets. And Adrian Lewis with yet another break of throw.
7 leg is Adrian to throw first. Game on.
Takes a 4-2 lead. Now he'll be thinking, just throw it. 15 darter. 15
36.
darter. Make Hammer do something special to break me. But he started off 36.
Yeah, so far in this match, it's very hard to get a 15 darter on your own leg for both players. That's what makes it so unpredictable.
100. $60.
Again, it's credit to Hamilton. If you compare all the averages from all the players that play against him, they always seem to play a lesser average against him than they do against other players. That's the pressure he puts on you. And he doesn't let you get into
59.
that nice rhythm either.
Certainly. Certainly. I mean, Adrian's told me on more than one occasion, look, if you let me play my pace, I'll beat you. I mean, he
81.
loves playing Michael van Gerwen, and there aren't many people out there who do. But Adrian Lewis genuinely loves it. I think Michael beat him the last time they met, in fact. But previous to that, I think Adrian won 3 or maybe even 4 in a row, including big tournaments, the match play.
European Championship.
European Championship, yep.
140.
Well, this is better from Hammer.
Well, I'll tell you, Michael said to me he loves to play Adrian as well because he likes that quick pace as well.
125.
He's incredible to watch. I mean, that match play semi-final is one of the most exhilarating games of darts I've ever seen. If anybody is new to the game of darts and hasn't seen it, go and look it up. It is absolutely unbelievable, breathless stuff. And they get through about 34 legs in about 30 minutes. It's just...
And if you don't like it, don't ever watch darts again because you're never going to like it.
Yeah, you ain't going to like it. Unless, look up Dennis Ovens. There you go. I'll turn you on to the sport of kings.
99. And you require 102.
So neck and neck in this leg. Adrian Lewis has lost the darts, though. Andy Hamilton looking at 102. And he is going to get a shot at it. 10 for double 16. The Hammer usually so reliable on that little green bit in the bottom of the...
86.
Oh, wow.
Adrian
Misses
requires
inside.
100.
And Adrian Lewis has a chance to open up a 3-leg lead. We've not seen one in this match so far. 2 double tops for 80. Well, there's the one. Oh, my word. The
60.
first one was a hard one.
And
You
you
thought the
require
second would just
16.
follow it in. He does enjoy it. 2 double tops. You've already seen 1 double-double finish from him. Oh, Andy Hamilton just needs to come inside that a little bit. Oh. Readjusts and doesn't do it correctly, and now Adrian Lewis. This may be the moment which seals Hammer's fate. And no, it isn't, my word.
And he requires
Can nobody hold throw, Jack? What's going on?
It's very unlike Hamilton to miss 3 at a double. It's very unlikely he's going to miss 6 or 7,
on the 7th
and he
leg.
doesn't.
Andy Hamilton.
It's the second time Adrian
Great leg is
Lewis
Andy to throw
could
first.
have almost clinched the
Game
match
on.
in this match and doesn't do it. And if you keep your opponent alive, in the end, it's usually going to bite you.
He's already been bitten once by a mosquito today. You don't want to get bitten by a mosquito, but you really don't want to get bitten by Andy Hamilton.
36.
That's just a rule of thumb I live by, Jack.
I don't think he'll let go.
100.
Oh, Hammer started off this leg well. Just thinking if he can hold his throw, just a runner putting 2 legs together would be something.
It's no problem breaking each other, so just hold your throw.
That is a lot better from Andy Hamilton. What can Andy Lewis do? How can he respond?
97.
Well, it's good. It's not great. Hammer still has the upper hand.
Starting down because he needs the 19 to come off and then go up for the 20s. Well, that wasn't in the plan, that 5.
84.
It was good thinking of Hamilton.
Yeah, shame about the execution. But here comes Adrian Lewis.
94.
Still, he looks favourite in his own leg. 15 darts will do it in this leg for him. He's at 9. He'll have another 3. And after that, another 3.
Well, I don't think you'll be staying there, Andy Hamilton. 65 left. Well, he wanted the 25 and he's hit the ball. Happens so often. And Adrian Lewis is going to put a little bit of pressure on here. Not a lot, though. Now, Andy Hamilton will have 2 darts at a double. 7 for double 4, maybe. He did hit it last time. He's going to go 3 double 6. Over on the side of the board there. Oh, and he's got back down to the double 3, and it's not anybody's favourite, this one, but Andy Hamilton makes it look simple. And we are back level at 4 apiece. Adrian Lewis has had his chances to pull out to a 5-2 lead, a 5-3 lead. He's not taken them, and the hammer is right back in this.
This is what Andy Hamilton does. He'll make you pay for mistakes you make, and that will make you think about your mistakes
59.
even more, and that will affect your game. That's what he does. That's why he is so good. That's why he is the hammer.
Yeah,
140.
It is a fitting nickname for him. Hasn't got any inflatable or novelty hammers brought with him here in Eindhoven for this weekend. But he's keeping
81.
Adrian Lewis at bay with a metaphorical one. But Lewis, he's had a look at Hammer saying, oh, hold your throw, is it? I might do that myself.
Maybe it just needed to be shown how it's done. You can see wiping. Lewis is constantly wiping his
58.
forehead. It's very hot on that stage.
Yeah, it has got hotter as the day's gone on.
41.
Unseasonably warm earlier on, actually, outside, and now you've got 1,000 people crammed in here. All the lights. It's not exactly alien to them, the darts players. They are used to hot stages and all the lights and TV cameras.
97.
A noisy crowd. And Lewis, well, he's not made life easy for himself there. And having to move across, and he's hit the 5. It's
82.
not terminal because the hammer's on 206.
Or will he go for that double 19? Maybe he'd be better off splitting it. Let's see what Hamilton puts for pressure on it. It's quite a bit.
138.
Certainly is now.
38.
He's hit the double 19, yeah. He's hit it before. But that's the danger. Double 80 once.
22. And he requires 68.
And now he's in serious trouble because this is the leg Lewis started. This is Hamilton on 68 to break and go 5-4 ahead. And this is what Hamilton does really well normally.
He's only going to get 1 dart at a double, and it's at double 16. And he loves double 16. And look at that, the hammer roars. The first time we've seen that tonight.
Game on.
And now, Andy Hamilton, a run of 3 legs, has put him within 1 of the 3rd round. And Adrian Lewis, the 2-time world champion, is staring down the barrel.
He looked like he was cruising, Lewis, but
134.
the chances he had to go 5-2 up, he's regretting now that he didn't take them.
140.
Now he needs something special. I think he's going to need to finish this leg in 12 darts to get a shot.
Well, the hammer, you know, he's still not producing his best, but he's doing just enough and has done for the last 3 legs now. You know, he's with the
81.
throw. It's so unlike him not to be staying straight in that position. Well, Lewis is applying the pressure here. This really is crunch time.
Back comes Hamilton. Can he put in another treble and get to a finish? No, he can't.
100.
He'll take the 100.
And Adrian Lewis, there's 1 treble.
100.
Oh, you fancied him for another, really, but 100 leaves him on a finish. Andy Hamilton has got to take a big dent out of this, put pressure on that 127. And that is a great start. On a 140.
Treble 18 should suit him very well. Lewis needs this to stay in the match. Treble 20, no. Downtown, treble 19, no.
57.
Frustration, and Andy Hamilton here. 2 darts at a double it should be for the match, for a 6-4 win, for revenge over Adrian Lewis for that defeat at the match play. Double 16, he wants and gets it first dart, and Andy Hamilton, after struggling and stuttering and stumbling in the early stages, has roared back to knock out Adrian Lewis. Odd game, loads of breaks to throw, but Andy, the Hammer Hamilton, is through to the 3rd round, and he's going to play either Simon Whitlock or Mark Webster. 1